Hi everybody, I'm just continuing on my little theme at the moment of realizing the dream state and breaking free from the dream. So this video is talking about dream on, dream off, because it really is like that. When you're simply present, you actually turn the dream off and you're living in reality now. You're actually living in truth. So you have the ability to actually do that by having the conscious awareness of becoming present. Meditation's all about that. And how it can transform your life by having the desire and the ability to play with that. Gosh, I'm just looking around me right now. There's some amazing plants right here. And sounds. It's quite interesting. Birds and planes, and I think a big brass band's practicing over there. Dream on, dream off. I think it's fascinating to see what actually is the dream. What actually is the dream state, how we live in the dream, how we live in fantasy, how we live in assumptions, how we then address each other because of those foundations or those beliefs. And they're incorrect. And that's the funny thing, sad thing, crazy thing, is how much we fight for those realizations, for our opinions, and yet they're incorrect. Why are they incorrect? Because there is no right or wrong. There's what we gather as information, how we process it, and then how we find our way through it all. So we can continuously come up with a different answer and a different reality based on the information we're gathering. You listen to that story, read that book, read that article on the internet, listen to that news report, change channels, listen to a different news report. The information's changing constantly, which means our conclusions are changing constantly too, which means that truth is very, very covered. It's a veil. It's veiled by our assumptions. It's veiled by our interpretation. So for us not to be so hard-nosed, for us not to be so determined that we know what's right, because we don't. We might believe we do in this moment. And what's more correct is to say, in this moment, I'm assuming this is the right way forward. That would be actually more correct, and it actually leaves us room to move and change. I don't know. I think there's too much aggression and fighting in the world, and a lot of that comes from people's conclusions, and then they need a right or they find strength in themselves for being so strongly behind a position, and yet it's still just a position, right? Anyway, for me, happiness and peace is way more important. I value that more, and I value people's attitudes and character over believing in something and putting all your aggression behind it. For me, anyway, that's just what is my qualities. So anyway, I leave it up to you. Play with it. See, most importantly, is see the mind, see what you're thinking about, and see these hard facts which you're believing as strong opinions, and then being open for them to change and see it as something different. Okay.